So you've been watching Dad and Dusty move dirt over from where we dug the pond over to where the road's going. They were trying to move that last set of dirt, so we put both machines on it since we had a little extra help. And I'm on the dozer here, and I'm just shoving this mud towards this ditch, and I'm being very careful not to get ahead of myself because there's still quite a bit of water in the ditch. So I'm shoving it down towards the end and pushing the water out as I go. So if I was to mess up here and actually trap all this water where I'm working, there's no way I could finish working as I'm going now, because all that where the dozer's at had water in it too at one point, and we just kept pushing it out. We got the pump still set up, so we just keep pushing water that way, and we let the leading edge of the dirt push the water out for us, and that way we're not rolling it off and it making a big mud bog, because that's exactly what'll happen if you just roll the dirt right in the middle or set the dirt right in the middle. So you got to feel it as you go, and it usually works out pretty well that way, because I wouldn't even be able to work. I wouldn't be able to run the dozer where I'm at if we just went to pushing dirt in at the closest point we had dirt. The dirt we're pushing in here, it's kind of mud, but it's really topsoil. It's just wet. So the dirt we're pushing in here is the topsoil we stripped off the road area, and we just kind of transferred it over here. And we're putting it in this ditch, and it'll actually, once it settles out, it'll make a pretty nice little ditch bottom. So this is later the same day. It was a pretty productive day, as you can tell if you look in the background, all that dirt that we've been setting out. We pretty much got it roughed in as the road, and Dad had to go, so I got back in the little machine, put Dusty into 130, and I'm over here just kind of easing this water out. Got it in high speed, so more exciting to watch it. I'm sitting on cable line there, so I got to be careful what I'm doing. We don't want to. Well, it may be something else. I don't know. They marked it anyway. But we're pulling this dirt in here, and I couldn't do any more with the dozer. The dozer was wanting to just sink and go right on down the bottom of the ditch. And then you got ruts, and the water comes back in the ruts. And so at a certain point, you got to stop with the dozer, and you got to pull it in there with the machine, with the excavator bucket. And you're not creating damage as you're going along that way. And that's the idea here. So there again, I'm using the leading edge of the dirt, just like earlier, and I'm just pushing the water backwards towards the pump. And it's crazy how you can dry a place up like this, and how you can make a place much worse if you just go to putting dirt right in the middle of the water. But I'm just pushing the water as I go. It's definitely not rocket science, but you gotta make sure that you do it that way and be very methodical, or you set yourself back several days before you can work on it again. I'm using my tooth bucket on this. I actually prefer, for whatever reason, to use the tooth bucket on stuff like this. I find it easier for me. And it may be because our ditching bucket's 5 foot wide, so it's hard to, sometimes it's hard to get the right angle with that. and we really need a tilt bucket, but we don't have one. So I usually do all this kind of stuff with my tooth bucket, and it works good for me though. I don't know. It doesn't feel awkward or anything. So I'm just using what I got. I like to have a tilt bucket, but I don't. So it turns out good like this though. You can see as I'm easing my way out, I'm causing some pretty good ruts. So I'm taking the time to fix those as I go, and I'm also using them when they press up excess dirt. I use a side boom it into where I need the dirt. So kind of a twofold thing. But you definitely want to fix the ruts as you go, because the whole idea of what I'm doing here, I mean, this is not finished grade, but some of it could be. But I'm anticipating more rain, and if I don't put some kind of slope on it where the rain can run off, then it'll sit in them ruts, and and then I've just kind of changed one mud hole out for another. But the way I've got it, when we leave it here, you can see the flags beside the excavator there where they marked it. So the way that we're doing it here, by filling in all the holes and just smoothing it out, the water kind of, if it does rain on it, the water will actually do a lot to smooth the thing out, and it won't have anywhere to be trapped. It'll actually go to the sump, and then all you got to do is crank the pump and get rid of your water again, instead of having water trapped all in the dirt. In my opinion, the little 20,000 pound machines like the 88 or the 18 to 20,000 pound machines are like the perfect size for, if you can only have one, that's probably the perfect size, because you can move that with a 1-ton truck if you have to, and you can do big excavator jobs with it. Not like mass excavation, but you can do stuff you would normally do with a lot bigger machine with a 20,000 pound machine. And it doesn't sink. Like, we got 24-inch steel pads on the little 88, so it's actually pretty amazing where it'll go, where it'll stand up. So it's not making the impact that a larger machine would, and it's just really quick. The movements are good and quick on it, and it's been a great little machine. That size machine is, like I said, if you could only have one, that size would be. There's always room for a 20,000 pound machine. Sometimes it's nice to have a little bigger machine, but you can get by with that. For power to weight, they're really amazing. So we're gonna speed the video up here some more. It's a different perspective when you speed the video up even more. You can actually kind of see the water just running away. So anyway, so I'm close to finishing here for today. There's not much capacity left in that hole, so that's really what we're trying to do, is get it where the pump can handle whatever shows up in that hole in just a minute or two. All right, so it's the end of the, I think, third day. That's what we're looking like. We backfilled all this. This hole here was 2.5, 3 foot deep. We backfilled all of this, and so it's drying out a lot. We're kind of forcing it, but it's drying out. So we backfilled all that. That was a deep hole, a little pond that we dug. Good dirt. We got lucky and had good dirt. So it's a major improvement just today, because it actually rained on us today. So it's way better. Had to locate people come out and do the locate, and we just filled that and back drug it. Got a little bit right there we got to finish. We couldn't reach it. So we brought the bottom of this ditch up, I don't know, at least a foot. That's going to be where the new culverts go there, but our temporary sump's here. We left that open, so we know we're going to get more rain, so we can keep pumping it out. So there's the road bed started. Going to be a ditch right there on the right side. Ditch going on the left side too. Be a wide ditch. Got the road a little bit wide right now, but we're just going to let it dry like it is, and we're going to come back and pull it in a little tighter. And of course, it's going to come right through here. Going to be a little bit of a turn to it for trailers and all. And then I actually got some video footage I'll put up of filling this. This was also very deep, 2 to 3 foot, and we probably 1.5 foot of fill in that. So it'll still flow water, but we just brought it up. That way we got enough fall for it to work with our buffalo pen ditch that we put in. So we're gonna leave it for a couple days and let her dry. And then we got to go on with the road on further past the fence there when we come back. So it's still pumping over there. So now we got this higher than that. Originally it was not.